Good morning. Yesterday I got a comment reminding me that, hey, maybe you ought to think about all the people are here because they love you instead of commenting all the time on the people that annoy you. Something along those lines, I'm paraphrasing. And then I got home from work and there was a package at my door from Robin and Patrick Crone, super nice people who, you know, they've just become awesome patrons to the channel. They're so sweet. It's crazy. And the married couple sitting there watching my content and laughing at it is good because, you know I'm offensive. So, these are cool people, you know what I'm saying? And so I wanted to talk to this a little bit and just tell you how awesome you guys are, because I've said it before, I've got the best friggin' subscribers. Sometimes you use the word followers. I typed that in a comment, or excuse me, to a message to Robin. I sent it to her. I don't like the word followers. It makes you feel like, or sound like you think you are like some sort of, thing that people are following around. Like you're a big, I'm just a dude, man. Speaking my mind. There's nothing special about me. So, I mean, unless you saw me naked. Let's just be honest. See what I mean? See what I mean? We're using the Force here. It's like being on the Death Star. So, the package was super cool, by the way. It was a couple T-shirts, and they were T-shirts of the old. So I guess I did a video where I talked about it. I can't remember if it was a Sunday night chat video or what, but I talked about JJ Rockers, and I talked about when I was DJing. And I remember going up to New Brunswick to the Melody Bar, and that's right, I talked about John Easdale and Dramarama and all that. So they sent me these two T-shirts. I don't know, can you buy these T-shirts? Or did you have to have them custom made or what? Because one is JJ Rockers, but it's the Scotch Plains location, which I never had. I actually still have the original Seaside Heights T-shirts. I've been meaning to wear one in a video, if it still fits. I don't know. And the Melody Bar from New Brunswick, it's crazy. So I gotta wash those before I wear them. They're very form-fitting. You know, I feel like a superhero putting one of those T-shirts. It's a little crazy. And some lavender, I guess, for the hair stuff I make, and a couple things of beef jerky, 3 of them, and I ate those right away, which kept me from going to sleep before 1 a.m. last night because there's sugar in it. I shouldn't have ate those that late in the afternoon. And then a mustache and hair brush for the comb, wood comb, and brush for the beard. And I thought that was hysterical, because what are you telling me? What are you saying? I'm a little too disheveled here? You know? Oh, there's probably something else in there. I'll include a picture at the end of the video because it was really cute. And you know, I have to mention that there's been a lot of patrons to this channel before, like Cliff down in Florida, who sent me that giant box full of Astrovan parts, and Jim, who's, you know, he sent me, he's done. I'm sure he's cleaned out all his junk drawers by now. He sent me a bunch of watches and some really cool stuff that is usable for my lifestyle. You know, a couple sets of military goggles for when it's windy out, when you're out in the desert and whatnot. And I guess I'm bringing this up because it's just, you know, I think there's a lot of people on YouTube that have channels that, you know, they do all these things to make money with YouTube, right? So they do Patreon and all that stuff, and you guys know I'm not doing that. I have zero plans to do that. It's just too much of a time consumption thing for me. I just don't ever see it happening. It's possible, but I highly doubt it. And I'm not a beggar, man. I don't ask you guys for anything. Matter of fact, I don't even remember to tell you to like and subscribe. You know, at the end now, I've learned to do the end screen, so I put the little subscribe button up. Put that down. Yeah, I'm terrible. I'm a terrible YouTuber. But that's part of my thing, because I don't want this to be, you know, if it keeps growing, great. The thing about YouTube is you can't, as far as like trying to make money with it, excuse me, you can't count on it. There's too much of an ebb and flow to this whole thing. You just don't know. Like the last several months for me, my numbers have been going way down, you know, with the money coming in and everything. So it's interesting. I need to get out there and do some adventures, I guess. But I'm just saying, you know, it's just one of those things. And it was funny, I was talking to Sabo the other night, and man, he just, when he's being not in a good mood, he just says these things. It's like he doesn't know me at all. He does this all the time with me. He's like, yo, you know what's going to happen? You know, you're going to start throwing all your friends under the bus all the time and doing whatever it takes to try to get your numbers up and make money. I'm like, dude, who are you talking to? Everybody knows I don't care about that. Let's go. Figure it out, people. It's a green friggin' light here. Unbelievable. My God. I can't do this thing. I wish I could do this thing. It would require editing. If I had a camera facing forward so you could see what I'm seeing on the road here. It's really bizarre. It's like the craziest. People just are. I do the slack job because that's what and most of them are like that. Or they're eating or talking on their phone or something, or doing something else in the car. It's almost as if nobody knows where they want to go. Like when you get in your vehicle, don't you know where you want to go? You don't know how to get there yet? You're trying to figure this out? I just heard my mother's voice in my head. Not everybody's like you, Michael. Wouldn't the world be such a better place if they were? He's so boring though. Every day, around the same mindset. Yeah, trying to get there. Time is money. Got to get there. Focus on what I'm doing. Focus on driving. Now you're all laughing because, wait a second, dude, you're making a video while you're driving. Well, you'll see it does not impair my driving. I am like this, man. I'm seeing everything. Checking the mirrors. Looking at everything. I am not missing a thing, man. I take this stuff seriously. At any rate, I just had to put that out there. You guys are the greatest. Thank you. I try to remember to say all the time when I'm talking to something that I have an issue with. It's, you know, just open the door right there. That's another thing. People on the side of the road parked. They just swing their doors open. Like, the people who are getting in their cars are the worst because they see you coming down the road. They just expect you to stop and drive around them. And then the people that are in their cars, I did this once. It's not the right thing to do. It wasn't my best moment. I was on the motorcycle and I was coming around somebody, and this woman swung her car door open right in front of me, and I had to hit the brakes, and I almost drove right into the door. And she closed the door, and I got off the bike, and I kicked the mirror, the mirror, the side view mirror, right off the car door. She's like, "What are you doing?" So if you ain't gonna use it, what's the point of having it? I got back on the bike and kept going on my way. What are we doing? Make up a decision here. All right. Okay, so, oh boy, all the parking spots are taken here. Don't know what you're doing, buddy. There we go. All right, busy time of the day here. I got to get some more drywall compound. Anyhow. Thank you again. You guys are awesome. There was probably some other things I wanted to say here about this, but I do got to get to work. We'll just keep this short. Thank you. Thank you all for being here. I really appreciate it. Thanks for letting me speak my mind and putting up with it and putting up with me and my moods. It's crazy, man. And yeah, as I was saying, I actually like. Oh, I know what I was going to say. I'm not done. We're not done. Something else happened the other day, which was on Saturday. This woman came by, and this gets to the okay. So Patrick and Robin sent me this package, and they sent me a card. It's in the picture. I don't know if you'll be able to read it, but they wrote "unexpected gift at unexpected time," which is something that I say on the videos from time to time when I'm talking about my life as a child. I'm talking about my dad. That's the thing I learned from my dad, because he worked at these diners, that were run by mobsters, basically, or running numbers in and out of them and everything else. And things were always falling off the back of a truck, So, you come home, and it was, every couple of weeks you come home and there was some cool thing that my dad had that, fell off the back of a truck. So, unexpected gift, the unexpected time. What's my point of bringing that up? My point of this is, those of you who watch this channel and listen to me, you friggin' know me, man. By now, you know me. And you know my life. And it's an odd thing I'd never considered before. I just, I jump into things and then deal with it as I go. I meet strangers. To me, complete strangers to me, that I start speaking with them and I realize they know everything about me. It's an odd thing. I've got friends that I'm friends with, that people I grew up with and everything else, that, like my one friend John I'm thinking about, he watches the videos, right? He's got this thing. He owns a shop in Jersey. He's in there super early in the mornings when it's the season. It's like 4 o'clock in the morning, and he's repairing reels and whatnot, and he's got me on the thing. So he knows everything that's going on. So if we talk, it's a hard conversation, because there's nothing I can really tell him. He knows it all already. So, but you know me, I still do a lot of the talking. So, and but Saturday, this lady Jennifer came. She's cute too. Hi Jen, how you doing? It's a real pretty lady. Came over with her 14-year-old daughter, who was a just wonderful human being. She wants to buy the Schwinn I have, that blue cantilever frame bike, but now she wants me to build up another one to match it. I have a lady's step-through frame for her daughter, so I'll do that. Hopefully I can get them done and get them to her before the end of this month, because I have a friend coming into town. We're going to go away for a week, and I'd like to deal with that and get it out of there before that. So if you're watching, Jen, But it was funny when she was there. We're doing a lot of talking, and she's saying things where I'm like, oh, you know everything. She's like, and I just pointed that out to her. It's like, it's a weird thing for me. It's not bad necessarily. I'm not one of those people that I'm not real big on declaring things to be good or bad, because you just don't know. Like in the moment, you might have a gut feeling on something that may or may not be correct. I find that instantly reacting to stimuli that's just now occurring in your face is not the greatest thing. I was having this conversation with somebody the other day about it. We talk about this all the time. Big difference between men and women is that men grow up, you learn. When you're young as a man, as a boy, and you say the wrong thing to the wrong person, well, bam! Somebody will crack you in the head. And so then you learn, maybe I shouldn't just blurt out what I'm thinking all the time. Typically, women don't get that, right? They don't grow up with that. So as we age, when something occurs, a man is seeing something, some women might accuse us of being slow or something. But what we're doing is we're assessing the situation from all possible angles to make sure that whatever reaction we're about to engage in is correct. Whereas women can emotionally react instantly. And that's why, because nobody cracked them one, or not enough. And when they were growing up. I'm not advocating child abuse. All right, I'm just saying, they grew up on the streets, and that's how it is. And so, girls can say these horrible things to men and all this, or they can physically attack them. And I did a thing with Silas yesterday. We did like another one of these online things. He recorded it, so he's going to put a video together. I like this kid. He's a real quirky dude. That's who I was talking to yesterday about it after work. But anyhow, I've lost my point here. I was trying to make. I was kind of talking about like, oh yeah. So the point I wanted to get to in a roundabout way, as per usual with the weave, right? The other thing is that people associate emotion with things that are happening in their life, and this is certain people in my family. Everything's bad all the time. Everything that happens is labeled as bad, and when you think that way, you are setting the rest of your day up or your life up with that mindset, and having negative thoughts and being pissed off all the time and thinking the world is out to get you is going to age you. You're going to see it in your face. Women are the worst with that, because I feel bad for you ladies, especially those of you that I know that when we were young, you're beautiful and everything else, and now older, some of you still are, right? But some of you are looking a little haggard and angry and aged and everything else. And then when I talk to you, it's because you have this negative thing going on in your mindset. You have this outlook in life. Happens to men too, but life isn't fair, right? Men can look that way and it doesn't matter as much. I'm just saying, happy thoughts, man, and understand that something that you might think is bad in the moment, oftentimes it's not bad at all. A lot of times it doesn't even really mean all that much. You're just attaching all this crazy drama to it, making this a part of your life, this misery. And a lot of the time, that thing oftentimes leads to some sort of change in your life that's for the better. It's hard for you to see it if you're the negative mindset type person. So, chill out, man. Give yourself a break. Do some meditations. Do some introspective investigation, into yourself and your outlook on life. There's plenty of things that have happened in my life. There's things happening right now. There's always something happening where I could easily turn this into like a woe is me and life sucks and everything else. And but I'm not going to do that because I know what it's going to do to me, and because I see what it does to everybody else, and I'm not going to fall victim to that. So, you are, as Arlie Ermy would say, you are the asshole in charge of your own destiny. And with all that, I just have to say, again, thank you. I'm going through this whole roundabout thing of saying thank you to those of you that are here. And, I mean, it's a fact. If you go through my comments, overwhelming majority of comments under any of the videos I post are positive. Oh, I have to say this too. I posted that video up on Sabo's book, the Unsavory Agents book, and he was like, "Oh man, you showed the screamer hands," and excuse me. He'd said to me when we were talking on the phone, he's like, I'd ask you to take that down, but I know you won't. I'm like, well, I'm not. I can't. He doesn't understand. I can't take the video down. Like, once there's engagement going on in the comments, I can't just take the video down. It screws up everything. But what I did yesterday was I went in there and I used this tool on YouTube, the editor. I was able to cut that section out. It's like 3 minutes. As I'm turning it's a pretty clean cut. You can't really tell. As I'm turning the book, you'll see a quick split-second view of the hands page, and then it jumps to the "We Shall Return" thing of Trump as Douglas MacArthur, the World War II thing that I was very impressed with that Sabo did. So I think that's fine. So if you guys saw the initial version of that, you caught all of that. And the funny thing was, it's not funny, but there was some idiot in the comments. This whole video is about focus on the positive comments, but here I go again. Because he's like, oh, you guys are both Jimbo Phillips rip-off artists, man. Like, shut the F up, dude. Are you kidding me with that? And as I mentioned in that video, I went up to Santa Cruz whenever it was, and I told Sabo I was going up there, and he gave me those hands to put up, and I did it. When I did it, I was staying at my buddy's house, who's not a fan of Trump. He's a punk rock dude, man. He was a professional mountain biker his whole life. He's got his own skateboard company, Cohort Skateboards, and I like him. I rode with him. He's a Cretan motorcycle guy. Great dude, good-looking guy. He's got more kids than he knows what to do with. But he's with a woman who's a nurse, and, you know, she leans pretty far to the left. She's a nice lady. And I stayed with them at the time when I put those up. I went up there to do a project for him. And he and his buddies, you know, people born and raised there, they're big Santa Cruz fans. Santa Cruz is a skateboard company, so they sell clothing and all that. And this Jimbo Phillips guy does a lot of their graphics for them. And this hand thing was a skateboard thing from the 1980s. And, you know, it's not a copy of it. Sabo's work is inspired by it. He definitely changed it. It's not the screaming hand. It's an OK sign. So all he did was take the same style. He turned it into an OK sign. He put Trump hair on it and whatever else he put on there. So it's not like a blatant one-to-one ripoff. It's just clearly inspired by that original image. And but the point is that the guys up in Santa Cruz told me that there's been multiple art shows there in Santa Cruz where other artists do their version of the hand too. And that's always been allowed. So, you know, again, for now maybe, and I don't remember all this, it's possible, I don't think it's the case, but it's slightly possible that maybe, I'm going to pull the car up because this guy's pulling out. It'll make it easier for me to get out of here. Nice. So, as I was saying, they told me that there's been multiple art shows up there where people have done this with these hands. So for Santa Cruz to go after Sabo on it, and you know, they just sent him a cease and desist thing. The thing is that Sabo didn't make money on that. You know, he took the cease and desist order thing seriously. He made the graphic program to print the stickers public for free. So if people wanted to print them and put them up, they could do it. So there wasn't any money made off of it. And as I did mention in the video, when he did the prints with the big hands, because they were like 4 feet tall or something, there was enough room to put a small one, and I cut those, and I made my own little miniature art pieces to kind of recreate what the big ones would look like on the street. When we get back to the shop, I'll show you what I have in there. And that, again, that's not about ripping off Jimbo Phillips or going against their wishes. That's not about the art part, the hand part. That's a whole art piece that's depicting a miniature version of what was put out on the street. You understand? To depict and remember a moment in history when Sabo was putting this artwork out there. So you could have a miniature street art piece hanging up in your living room. And I did sell those. You know, I sold them. I think I was selling for like $250 plus shipping or something. Or maybe it included shipping. I don't remember. And people seemed to be happy with them. I had one that I gave to my buddy in Arizona. It was so dry there. When I did it, I used the same glue that you use outside, and the paper had fallen off of it. And I think he might have thrown it away or so. I was like, dude, all you gotta do is leave it on there and re-glue it or put varnish over it. So I hope that hasn't happened to anybody else. At any rate, I just wanted to explain why I cut that out of the video. And it's not the first time I have figured that one out where I've had it. Usually what's happened in the past is that I'll get a notification from YouTube that there's something in the video, and most of the time it's because there's like, I'm doing all these clips and maybe there's like a piece of music there that's copyrighted, and they tell me, you know, these are your options, and one of the options is that they can edit that out, and you just automatically let them do it, and you go back and watch the video, you can barely tell it happened. Usually, and even with the options, they'll tell you, they'll just cut the audio out. So for a couple seconds, there's no audio in the video, but you can still see what's going on visually. That's fine. So that's happened before. But you guys know I don't make a habit of that. I'm not a big editing person. And the reason for it is because I want to be as transparent and honest with you guys as possible. When you see a lot of edits, it's, you know, somebody trying to give you all this best version polished thing on a video, which, you know, kind of makes sense, I suppose. But with me, you're seeing it all. I don't really care. And that's it. So once again, now I'm finally going to get out of here. Thank you for being here. You guys are awesome. Oh, I'm wearing the Good Watch this morning. I hope I don't mess this one up. It's the this is 25-year-old Seiko. This one is the 7S26, I believe, and 200-meter diver. Super cool with my bison hide band on it. Of course, I've got the 1990-ish version too. That's the 7002 that's on a bracelet. And today, I should be having a 6309 Slim Turtle from 1983 coming in that has an orange dial on a Pepsi bezel, and it was a really good deal, and I was real nervous about it, but I just kept looking at the pictures and doing all my research, and I think this watch that's coming in today is the genuine article, all original, because these watches oftentimes will have like a replacement dial. This one's all original as well. I went through the trouble opening this up. It's got the original Singapore movement in it and everything else, and you have to be careful with what you're buying. But I think I got it, and it's coming on a rubber bracelet from this year era SKX. This is an SKX 173. So when I get that, I'm going to make a brown bison hide leather band, and when I do that, I'll do a video on me making the band. Some people said they'd like to see that. It'll be a lot of cuts. It's not like you're going to watch the whole thing start to finish, because what I'm going to do when I do that, one of the reasons I want to do it is I'll be able to time it start to finish, so I really know, because it feels like 4 to 6 hours to make one of these to me, and I want to make sure that's accurate in my head, because people have contacted me about wanting one. And when I did the video on the bands, I said that Mike at the watch shop told me, hey, that's a $300 band, and I said, he goes, oh, sell for $280, make people feel good. And that is probably a fair price depending on time and everything. I know I've talked about and hinted at and threatened to make all these other things, and I realized with the amount of time it takes to make them, for what I could get out of it, it might not be worth the time necessarily. If I wasn't working and I had all the time in the world to sit around all day, I could put 4 to 6 hours a day into making a thing, or getting close to completing a thing and finishing it the next day, and over the course of a month have a few items, maybe 4 or 5 items or 6 items that I could sell for multiple hundreds of dollars a piece, and that'd be a nice way to augment my income. And I think that'll start happening at some point here. The new work surface that I put in the living room has been stellar. It's increased my productivity. It's making me do things now, and the lighting and everything else is working. I've got the setup now where you guys are seeing, like when I did the book video, straight shot down, so I could do reviews on products looking down, and it's awesome. That worked out great. And I just in the mail yesterday received a Dremel drill press, so I need that to do the super thick leather holsters that I do, because the hole punch, the pricking irons for the Leathercraft won't work. I could press it in a little bit to get the holes, and then I'll bring it to the drill press and get the holes all perfectly 90 degrees, and then that'll make everything go faster with the stitching. So that now I can finally get to that, because I really wanted to start doing some knife sheaths and all that, and I'm out of material, so I got to go pretty much. So I got that big black water buffalo hide from Indonesia. It's just that's a little too supple for the knife sheaths. It's working out for bands. That's not what this one is, but it's not exactly what I want. Point is, I got to go to Tandy Leathers here very soon, probably this week, and get some leather, different thicknesses. I also want to make my own wallet again. I need to remake this wallet that I designed and I've had for something like 15 years or so, and it's starting to fall apart here. But the layout on this, you can't buy anywhere else. I've got a lot of cool features in this wallet that I came up with that are bitchin', and I want to duplicate these, and I think I can make some decent money selling these as well. Okay. I'm all over the place. I can't stop talking on 4 hours of sleep. Anyhow, I've got the best subscribers. You guys are awesome. Thanks for being here. Listen to me ramble. I'll get back to work now and get on with my day. I can't say thank you enough. I love all of you. You guys are awesome. Without you, there'd be nothing going on here. I wouldn't be making the videos. Thank you for the reminders of how awesome you are. Hey, we're awesome, man. You focus on us, the good people telling you how awesome you are. Thank you. Thank you for being you. And I will continue being me. Have a great day. Be kind to one another. I'll catch you in the next one. So here it is, miniature version, autographed by Sabo. And, you know, it's funny when I did these, I also put the logo on this one, Mike Z Design, and 3 of 3, I call these the CVS, the Coronavirus series from 2020. This is walnut, real walnut and poplar, holding this together. It's built like a real fence. And it was funny because I sold these and gave some away, and I thought to myself, well, that's it. I found this in the shop not long ago, and I remember thinking, well, last year or so, I thought, well, that was it. And, nobody would be interested. But now, after Trump winning the latest election, I realize this is important, right? Because we know what happened in 2020, but he's back. So to me, this is even cooler now. Cooler-er? You tell me.